if MBG is reviewed 5 years from now,
Yeah, I mean, following the same state
Following the
financial
same
laws
logic.
framework, yeah.
you can be like, well, did giving food to these kids, is it state financial losses?
Yeah. Maybe it could have been more efficient.
Right.
It could have, like, maybe the procurement is too
Right,
expensive.
right.
Like, that's the same
That's
argument.
It's the same argument. And this is coming from someone who's a big criticizer of MBG. That's not fair for us to do that. Welcome back, Weeboos, to the What is Up Indonesia podcast. We're here without a guest because it's a long time since me and Abigail done a podcast together.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to do, just like us discussing the current issues together.
Yes. Before that, I want to check how much is $1 right now. Just before we just check this to start the podcast.
Just to mark what date we recording
Yes.
this, right?
So
Yeah.
now it's the 18th of May.
Okay.
So 1 USD now is 17,670. So it
17,670.
Before it was
Damn.
17,600.
Right.
Now it's 17,670. We're waiting for the day it goes to
Yep.
17,845.
Yep. Prediction says that it's gonna hit that in 17 August, but it might be sooner,
Yes.
seeing the trajectory.
Yeah.
And maybe by the time this podcast air, right, though?
It's already to 70,845.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay.
For those of you who don't know, that's 17 Agustus 1945. For those of you who don't know, 17,845 is 17th of August 1945.
Which is Indonesia's birthday that is coming up. Are you gonna celebrate, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, so do you want to tell the audience why we're doing this episode?
All right, we're doing this episode because, as you guys, I mean, we all know, we don't live under a rock. There's been a lot of criminalization, absurd corruption cases,
Yep.
state financial losses.
Kerugian negara.
Yes, and basically the current state of Indonesia. And basically, Abigail and I just want to talk about it.
Yeah, and I mean, transparency wise, yeah. I talked to Andovi around, like, I think 2-3 weeks ago, right? I'm saying, like, I wanted to talk about the Article 2 and 3 of Tipikor,
Yeah.
which is like the rampant criminalization of so-called corruption cases. And it is, unfortunately, we can only start recording this now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has, honestly, for me personally, Dov,
Yeah.
like, this has been the thing that kept me up at night, like, literally, like, mengganggu banget.
I saw your Insta
for me.
stories. I read your Insta
So,
stories.
like, it's, I know, like, right now, the internet, I guess, right, are filled with the Nadim and Ibam's case
Yeah.
that is quite viral now.
Right.
But this trend has actually been going on for a while. So unfortunately, this is not an anomaly.
It's not an anomaly.
I think the most recent example that a lot of people can recall is Tom Lembong.
Yeah.
And then it's one of the most viral too. Yeah. And then Ira Puspadewi, Ibam, and then the video editor vendor, Amsal Sitompu.
Yeah.
And then recently there's also there's a lot more, like the Pertamina case.
Right.
Do you remember, like,
Oh my
when
God, yeah.
I remember you were, like, pissed
I
off
was
about
so pissed
like
off.
the mixing fuel thing,
the
right?
mixing fuel thing. Yeah.
But now the court trial didn't even mention that.
Yeah, not even a mention about the. But back then, when we did it, it was the main thing, right?
It was the main thing.
and people, of course, were naturally pissed. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
natural thing. But now,
Me too,
no
me
one's
too.
mentioning about the mixing of any of the benzene or whatever.
Yeah, and I remember, like, the number that came up about the state financial loss was enormous, right?
Right.
And me personally, like, I regret not asking further question, like, how was that number calculated?
Yeah. We just believed.
Yeah, because, like, okay, can I read you something crazy?
Right.
Before we're just gonna dive straight into it.
Yes.
So in one of my posts, this, I guess, since this is like a public comment, it's public, right?
So it's from Windami.
Yeah. So it's about me, like, speaking up about, like,
Okay.
the criminalization, but basically she's the wife of Rifa Siahaan, who is one of the convicted for the Pertamina case.
Yep.
And so she's basically saying, like, how she's heartbroken, blah, blah, blah. What hurt most is people seeing it, blah, blah, blah. And she said, like, we still believe that justice should be based on facts, fairness, courage, no pressure. But what's crazy is that the comment after that.
So Daniel Timotheus replied on her comment saying, I feel Umba, as one of the experts that do the audit for BPK on the Pertamina's case, I did not find anything suspicious in Pertamina's method for estimating the gasoline prices. Therefore, the case related to the overprice of subsidized gasoline does not appear in the court decisions. Yet there are still accused with other cases. Even I see it as a weird case. I hope all Indonesians are safe. So even the auditor himself or herself, himself, said that. So
Yeah.
so basically, the core of our topic is what constitutes financial loss?
Yeah.
What constitutes corruption?
Yes.
What does it mean to corrupt and swindle the government and our country's money? That's basically it, right?
Yeah. And okay, so this is what I discovered, right?
Yeah.
The rabbit hole that I discovered. But before this, I feel like a lot of you guys probably, and me also, when we hear the word corruption, we imagine a person personally enriching themselves or somebody related to them, or like corporation that they have a stake in.
Yeah.
Where they basically get personal kickback, where they take bribes and gratification, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the thing that surprises me is actually in 2024, a data from ICW shows that almost 90% of corruption cases that were prosecuted and sentenced in Indonesia are not about bribery or gratification, but is actually about state financial loss.
Right.
And so meaning that the definition of corruption in Indonesia is you don't actually need to bribe or extort or receive gratification for you to be said to be a corrupter.
Right.
You just have to be labeled to have caused the state state financial loss. And the definition of state financial loss is
so broad.
It's so broad.
It's so broad.
It's so broad.
It's so scary. Like, what is a loss? That's basically his guide. What is a loss? And you really cannot quantify it with things like that are like untangible, like education. For example,
right.
With education, how does one quantify the data?
And I mean, the fact that, here's the thing. So from all the cases that has surfaced to the public, that people are, questioning the integrity of the case, that are controversial, almost all, not all, almost all goes back to Article 2 and 3 of UU Tipikor, which is our corruption law. Right? And it says, so let me read it in Pasal 2, Article 2. It says that setiap orang yang secara melawan hukum melakukan perbuatan memperkaya diri sendiri atau orang lain atau suatu korporasi yang dapat merugikan keuangan negara atau perekonomian negara. So you translate that to every person who unlawfully commits an act of enriching themselves or another person or a corporation that can cause financial loss to the state or state economy. So, and then Article 3 is basically the same, but it adds, with the purpose of benefiting, it adds abuses of authority, opportunity, or means available to them by virtue of their position or office. So you can be accused of corruption here in Indonesia if you enrich other people or a corporation. So not necessarily themselves. So it is written in the law.
Right.
So the problem that a lot of experts and people point out is that this does not explicitly entails mens rea. Meaning that if you accidentally enrich another person or a corporation, by the definition of the prosecutor, then you can be prosecuted with this article.
Exactly. And when Abigail said mens rea, it's your niat. So there's an intent. There's an evil intent. There's a bad intent.
Yeah.
And you're right. If for some reason that is unbeknownst to you that a certain party gets to be profitable for a kebijakan or for a procurement, then you might be liable.
Exactly.
For state financial losses.
And this is exactly what happened to Tom Lembong, right?
Exactly.
He was accused of creating state financial loss because he gave the sugar import to a private company as opposed to the public one.
Right.
And then years later, in hindsight, the prosecutor said that, oh, you know what? Actually, you should have done this instead.
Right.
You could have given the state more profit.
Right. And that's absolute bullshit, because the reasoning why Tom Lembong did that wasn't to make those companies profitable.
Yeah.
The reasoning was, as you're gonna El Nino, all that shit, sugar shit, we've discussed this. He had to do it in order to make our pasokan sugar in our country safe. So he did
It was a time of crisis.
It was a time of crisis. So he did not do that with the intent of, you go mo si X ye kaya. No, this country needs to be safe. I'm a minister of trade. Let me do something to solve a problem.
Yeah, and I get why this article is here, right?
We also get it.
Yeah, we
also get it.
Because like corruption is not always about like directly, quid pro quo, like
Right.
Need of ko kasi lu duit, lu kasi gue ini ya gitu.
Right,
Okay, it's not
right.
always that.
Sometimes it's very, very...
You can rig things, but again, like it needs to have mens rea.
Right, it needs to have mens rea.
Now, the problem is because of this article, when it deals with BUMN, with state-owned enterprises, with the government and things like that, it overrides the business judgment rule, right? Because like in business judgment, when you're a minister, when you are a venture capitalist, when you're an investor, when you are a CEO of BUMN, you make policy decision, you make business decision, you make investment decision, and you can't predict the future. You can't always make sure that those decisions will end up 100%, beneficial to the extent that people think it should be.
Right.
There's always risk, especially with like investment, which we will talk about more later, right?
Right.
But then this can treat any misjudgment, business misjudgment,
right.
even the one that you couldn't possibly anticipate because you can't predict the future as state financial loss.
Right. And like one of the things I mean, just Nadim's case quickly, right? A lot of the things that predicated his decisions was COVID. At that time in COVID, his boss told him to, "Yung kita mempercepat karena this is not going well for us." Right? So there were things that his business decisions had to do because something with COVID. Now I'm just saying, like, does that mean it's right or wrong? It doesn't. But I'm just saying, business judgment and business decisions are not liable to perfection, right? I mean, sorry, they're not supposed to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
predict the future.
Exactly. Like for example, if you are an investor, right? For example, you hold the position of like the director of the BRI investment, for example. So you are using the state fund to invest.
Right.
You can't, when you say like, okay, you know what? I think it's a safe bet, or I think we can invest in this company.
Right.
You can't say with 100% certainty that company is going to be profitable, right?
Right. You cannot. You literally cannot.
You can't. Like
you
can do all the due diligence, but you're ultimately lu bukan dukun gitu.
Yeah, exactly. So this is basically the crux of our problem. When people want to make kebijakan tertentu and they see something and they want to do something, the bad thing about all these cases, trust me, whoever is minister right now of anything, they're not gonna be innovative. They're not gonna think outside the box.
Oh no.
They're not gonna do jack shit. Because why would you?
Yeah.
Let's just say you're a minister of X.
Or not even minister, right?
Let's just say you are Dear Gen A.
Or you just have anything involving the government, yeah.
Oh, I think I have an idea to do this. This idea comes from a really good place. Where I think this will solve A or this will mempercepat B. If it fails, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big projects.
Okay.
If MBG is reviewed 5 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, following the same state financial laws framework, yeah.
You can be like, well, did giving food to these kids, is it state financial losses?
Yeah. Maybe it could have been more efficient.
Right.
It could have, like, maybe the procurement is too expensive. Like, that's the same argument.
It's the same argument. And this is coming from someone who's a big criticizer of MBG. That's not fair for us to do that. It's not fair. I'm just saying, right?
I mean, I guess it can be fair.
It can be fair, but it's...
But there needs, again, like what Mahfud MD said, it can be fair as long as there's proven mens rea.
Exactly. Is there a proven mens rea?
There's actual state losses and there's a proven mens rea. It cannot be potential losses. It cannot be... the mens rea needs to be proven.
It needs to be proven.
Exactly.
Like
it
sucks, this sucks. Because I went studying, and when I studied law, mens rea is the hardest thing to prove.
Okay.
So I get the other side.
Yeah.
So I get being kejaksaan, I get being a defense attorney. You're like, I get it. But you know what? That's the bar. It's either that or putting someone innocent in jail. Like, you can't complain, because I've heard a lot of counter narration is like, well, you don't know how hard it is to work to prove guilty, to prove guilt. But you're like, I get it, it's hard. But the alternative of not doing that is putting someone innocent in jail, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard, and you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, like the stake is not just like, a couple of rupiah or I don't know. Like the stake is you're ruining someone's lives. And not just one person, right? The entire family and
everything.
And you have a repercussion of like how the citizens are responding to that. You can destabilize the investment climate and things like that. But before actually, so I know a lot of people are probably curious about Nadiem and Ibam, and we are going to talk about that. But before that, I feel like I kind of want to talk about the other cases that shows how messed up the Article 2 and 3 UU Tipikor, if it's misused, can be.
Yeah.
The reason is because I feel like Nadiem's case is a little bit more complicated and not as clear cut as that. And so we will dive deeper into that.
We will dive into it.
But so one of the case that I feel like now a lot of people are talking about is Hotasi Nababan. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of this case. Yes.
Okay. So just like an overview, right? Hotasi was Merpati's CEO, right? And Merpati is a BUMN, like dealing with planes.
Yeah.
So back in 2006, Merpati board, including Hotasi, paid USD 1 million as a deposit to a US company to lease 2 planes, basically. Now, long story short, basically the US company never delivered because apparently they did some fraud. They did some fraud, and then Merpati sued the U.S. company in Washington, D.C. They won the case. The U.S. court ordered the U.S. company to repay the money.
Right. So the U.S. court already ordered the U.S. company to repay the money.
So basically, Merpati and Hotasi was scammed, right, by the U.S. company.
Right.
And so what's crazy is 3 institutions, including the National Police, Barreskrim, KPK, and also Kejaksaan's own civil arm, Jamdatun, they reviewed this case, right? So Barreskrim and KPK investigated and found no criminal element. Both concluded it was purely civil matter. And then Kejaksaan Jamdatun even represented Merpati as a plaintiff in the Washington mediation case to recover the money.
So they were helping them.
So they're helping, yeah. So Kejaksaan was helping them. But then, despite everything, suddenly Kejaksaan too, like Jampitsus, named Hotasi as a suspect for corruption, claiming that the USD 1 million deposit constitute as state financial loss, even though he was scammed.
He was scammed by the U.S. company.
By the U.S. company, and the court has settled and told the U.S. company to return the money. Right? So, the same Kejaksaan that helped recover the money was now prosecuting him.
Right.
With the state financial loss framework.
Right.
And the 3 corruption never met, no unlawful act occurred. The U.S. court ruling proved there was no collusion between Merpati and the U.S. Company that scammed them, and this was already reviewed and dismissed by both KPK and police.
Yeah.
And yet the case still goes on.
Right. Listen, it's like a Uno reverse card that they just pulled.
Yeah.
Like, we helped you, but now, you're corrupt.
No, I mean, like, you're scammed.
Yeah, you literally scammed. In this case, siapa? I forgot his name.
Hotasi.
He was literally scammed, and the U.S. court already ordered the U.S. company.
And he already won, and it is proven by Barreskrim and KPK that there was no collusion.
Right.
But because again, like he made a policy, a business decision, and it did not pan out the way people wanted.
Yeah.
And so it counts as a state financial loss because technically he does participate in the enrichment of other party.
Yeah.
Even though like he was scammed.
He was scammed, yeah.
Exactly. And like it's, I don't know, like I feel like this is just so absurd.
It's very absurd. I mean,
and of course, like there are way more detail in this case.
Right.
We are summarizing it. And as always, we want you guys to always double check and always verify and do your own research. But please, I feel like you can do much research on this case because I think it really shows like the absurdities of that.
Right.
And then the second one that I wanted to talk about is another one.
It's the Tani Hub case.
It's the Tani Hub case, but it's not the one pertaining the founders of Tani Hub, right?
Right.
But the ones about the investment from BRI. So the case is still going on right now. One of them is Nico Wijaya. He's the one who he was a director of BRI Investment.
Yeah.
Right? So have you heard of this
I've heard
case?
a Tani Up case, but I don't know the details about particularly this case.
Okay, so long story short, again, like I'm not gonna go into it because like
Yeah.
if we're about to like explain every single detail,
Right.
it's gonna take a whole long. But essentially, it's kind of
Right.
the same as Hotashi in like BRI venture, and Nico he's the director,
Yeah.
right? But again, like there are details like Tani Hap was first approached by BRI before Nico was director yet.
Yeah.
You know and then there are teams, technical teams that do screening and things like that.
Right.
And then finally BRI invested in Tani Hap, but
Okay.
he didn't invest it alone. There was other like Tenaya Capital, Asian Impact Investment Fund from Singapore, Vertex, and blah blah. So it's not. So it's like back then Tani Hap was, you know, like it was a startup that a lot of people view as like, oh, this is like actually investable.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they did their due diligence, blah 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 blah. But then, as we know, like it didn't turn out well.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah.
There are some shady stuff going on with Tani Hub. They did fraud and things like that. And because the company basically is now the state criminalized or basically said that Nico and the other analysts created state financial loss.
Right.
Even though as a venture capital, we know that when you did an investment, as long as you do proper due diligence and you do, you know, like the risk analysis and, you know, like all the technical thing,
Right.
it should falls under business judgment rule.
Right.
Like you can't know whether like, oh, the startup's gonna 100% become a unicorn and make us profit. You can't do that.
Right.
Basically, so this article is very dangerous, not only for minister, not only for CEO of BUMN, but also for, you know, investor.
Yeah, investors are gonna be like, bye, bitch. honestly, if I was an investor and I saw this, I was like, yeah, then why? I don't want to invest.
Exactly.
It's such a simple thing, guys. You don't want to invest, and it's what's scary is, I mean, I'm just reading this case.
Yeah.
I know about Tanya. It's like, again, it's back to the simple logic of there's a risk in business. So are we just supposed to be 100% success rate? Is that it? When dealing with the government, are you supposed to be on 100% success rate?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impossible.
So in this case, like investment process had at least 6 separate approval stages involving multiple people. So this wasn't a unilateral decision by Nico, right? And then he wasn't even director when it was like being approached and things like that. And they even declined Series B top up specifically because concerns about Tani Hap's government. So they, when the alarm rings, they try to...
Right. They declined the Series B, the next round of money. Got it.
But still, because he's the one who approved the investment and things like that, he got prosecuted for that, which is absurd in my view. Prosecuted for corruption.
Yeah.
Even though for an investment decision that involves many separate approval stages that did their due diligence because like the investment didn't pan out. Basically.
Right. I mean, it's absurd, guys. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to know that shit's just wrong. To be honest.
Yeah, like in any way that I looked at it, I just can't. Maybe it's an imperfect decision in hindsight.
Right.
Can nggak automatically mean it's corruption.
Exactly. And guys, trust me, guys. Me and Abigail, we hate corrupt people.
Oh yeah.
If you're corrupt, fuck you and fuck you. Like honestly, like but I stand by this saying.
Yeah.
It's better. It's worse putting. Sorry, what was that saying? I forgot my saying.
Apa tuh?
Yang 1,000 orang masuk penjara pada 1 orang ini. Like it's better
It's better to release 1,000 guilty person than to
put one innocent person in jail. Like that is a real adagium in law.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say it. Basically, it's a real saying in law where it's you better release 1,000. It's better to release 1,000 guilty people than to put one innocent person in jail. I'm just saying right now, you better be sure when you put someone through the prosecution process and tell them they're corrupt.
Yep.
You better be 100% sure.
Yep. And okay, so for those of you who probably think like, oh, you know what? Like, I think I'm pretty good though, because like I'm not a CEO of BUMN. I'm not a minister. I don't work for the government. Right? There's another case. Again, the Tipikor Article 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And this is regarding a regular citizen purchasing a land from a private seller.
Yeah,
and suddenly he got charged with merugikan negara.
That is insane. Okay, this is a Tio Lampung case.
Yeah.
We already, What is Up Indonesia already made a whole post about it. But basically, somebody bought a land. Tio Stefanus Sulistyo purchased land in Lampung.
Yep.
Intinya, udah diputuskan itu punya dia. Intinya, right? This land is his. There were a lot of disputes, but through all the dispute processes, even the highest Supreme Court, from the district court to the Supreme Court, has already said, no, this land is Tio's land. That's all you need to know, okay? Some people said, oh no, it's not my land. He went through the process. Yes, it's land. But then all of a sudden, somebody said, no, this is not your land. That's basically it, guys. No, this is not your land. This is a certain ministry's land.
Yeah, so before that, so he bought the land. He did his due diligence. Blah, blah, blah. But then suddenly people said that, oh, actually that land belongs to Kemenak.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? But BPK didn't say that.
Yeah.
But I did like not BPK, BPN. BPN said it's not blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so he went to civil court.
Yeah, he went to civil court.
Perdata berkali-kali until
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
He won. So they're like, it's actually his.
It's yours.
And they specifically actually said that Kemenak illegally barred him from it. Right? So he won the case. And then suddenly he got searched by prosecutor and then named co-defendants. Dituduh mafia tanah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly dia merugikan negara.
Basically, despite winning multiple civil court cases.
Yeah.
Confirming that he owns this shit, he owns this land, he's convicted of corruption in 2026. It's a proper conviction, yeah?
He's sentenced already.
So bukan tuntutan, udah putusan.
Yeah. So he's sentenced to 3 years in prison and 500 million fine. Gila nggak?
Because it's potential losses. Again, right? Tio used his own money, paid the asking price, and he handled no state funds, but then RP 54M, potential losses.
Yeah, he bought the money with his own money from a private seller. He didn't have access to any state funds and whatsoever, but suddenly he's accused of state financial loss. Again, with Tipikor
Pasal 2, Pasal 3.
And the reason why I really want to like highlight the Tipikor Article 2 and 3 is because many of the crazy cases that we have heard, like Tom Lembong, Ira Puspila Dewi, and then Tio, and then Hotashi, and then Nico, and so many more, right? That we can't even mention. It's because of that.
Pasal 2 dan Pasal 3.
Because of that article. And actually there has been multiple judicial review attempts. And what's crazy is the most recent one was like end of last year.
2025.
But the judge rejected it basically. But even the Constitutional Court, when rejecting it, admit, right, that the article can cause legal uncertainty and non-uniformity among law enforcement in handling corruption cases, and explicitly told DPR to prioritize a comprehensive review and rewrite UU Tipikor, particularly
Pasal
regarding
2 and Pasal 3.
3.
So that's from the Constitutional Court itself.
Yeah.
Like, they told the legislators, it needs to be rewritten, sorry.
Yeah.
So we know it's a problem. Like, it's not, experts are not under Constitutional Court, right?
No.
There's other people. There's prominent public intellectuals. There's Faisal Basri. There's Magdir Ismail. I'm not going to go through it. Basically, My professor Hikmanto Juwana, that's my international law professor.
Maybe
in
you
UI.
can read.
He basically said, and he's been saying this for years, right? He said, directors are not fortune tellers.
Yeah.
They can't know that after doing various simulations, even involving professionals, they make a decision, but suddenly there's a war, suddenly the rupiah spike or COVID happens.
They can't predict.
They cannot predict.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right now, the accusation of kerugian negara has become the most powerful weapon. Law ultimately becomes a tool of political interest. And specifically, without proving criminal intent, I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to say that again. Without proving criminal intent, it criminalizes good faith business decisions in dangers for the national economy. Thank you, Prophet Amaton Juwana. You were a good professor. Thank you for giving me a B.
So
He
you
gave me a
actually
B.
take his class?
I took his classes.
Dang.
We had to. He was
Nice.
our international.
Nice.
But like, udahlah, kayak,
Yeah, and it's not me and Andovi that are saying this, right? And then here, there's also Chandra Hamzah,
yeah, former Ketua
KPK,
KPK, yeah.
Ketua KPK.
Yeah.
He even said that under the current reading of Pasal 2, even penjual pecel lele can basically be said to involve kerugian negara.
Yeah, because you're like,
Because they're illegally there, you know,
you're not paying proper whatever taxes or fees or whatever.
Yeah. And dia memperkaya diri.
Yeah. I mean,
So technically, dude, like honestly, under this article, because of how broad it is, every single person in this country probably can be prosecuted for
Yeah.
kerugian negara.
every single
Person.
every single one.
If you're a vendor who worked for the government, and then later on, maybe a couple of years later, the prosecutor or auditor thinks that, oh, you know what? Actually, you charge the government too much, Andovi.
Yeah.
You should have charged them this instead of this.
Yeah.
Kerugian negara.
Yeah.
Right? That's what happened to Amsal Sitompul.
Look, it's like, guys, don't get me wrong. We've all known the law in this country is shit.
But I don't know why this one feels especially insidious for me.
Right. Because look, there was a post in which I really like from someone I forgot. He or she said, hukum has always been tumpul ke atas dan tajam ke bawah. And as Indonesians, we sort of accepted that, which is wrong by itself. But now, hukum is unfairly tajam ke atas. Unfairly. And now it's hitting people like us because
Tajam ke atas
kan
like
hukum sama ini kan tumpul di atas, tajam ke bawah. If you're rich, you're good.
Okay. Go ahead.
If you're tumpul,
If you're poor,
and
tajam.
yeah, and us middle class and upper middle class always thought, you know what? This is just the way the world works. Not even in Indonesia, right? In the whole world, we've turned a blind eye upon it. I'm talking about myself also. Then when it's actually hitting people with proper power and money and connections, that's why it feels insidious to us, because we're like, so this unfair law practices can hit people like us as well? Do you get what I mean? And in a way, it's a good wake-up call. Don't get me wrong, it's a great wake-up call for us. But in a way, it's like, okay, we should have voiced it when it was hitting people with no money. But what's done is done. We can focus on the present.
Okay.
My feeling is that
I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh no, please continue.
I feel like the law has always been, it's true, kayak, I feel like atas bawah, tumpul ke atas, tajam
ke bawah.
bawah, it's true, but I always see it as atas meaning those who are within the government circle, and bawah meaning those who are outside of the government circle. It doesn't really...
Okay. Because I've always seen it as atas yang beneran kaya and corrupt. Yang beneran ya. I'm not saying atas yang bersih. Sama ini atas yang corrupt, they're like, let me just give you, let's forget all this shit.
Because like I always see it, you know, if you're rich in this country, but you're not a
connection,
lu jadi sapi perah, Dov.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You don't have it good juga, lu tuh dipalak terus aja.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Jadi kayak it's I don't know, yeah, for me, I might be wrong, but for me, I feel like in Indonesia the divide is not always about rich versus poor, it's about
connections and no connections. Yeah, you're right.
The right connection.
Right.
And no connection.
Even middle class with good connections can get out of it. Yeah, you're right. Middle class with great connections can get out of it. You're right. It's just that I always feel like, this might be a very bad analogy. This might be a very
Okay.
bad analogy, but when I was in FIOE, in FIOE, there are kids from all over the financial and social spectrum. Oh, there's the rich Jacardans.
Okay.
There's the rich non-Jacardans. There's the poor Jacardans. There's the poor non-Jacardans. You could tell. I don't know. You could tell which one are the asshole rich Jacardans
Okay.
and the good rich Jacardans. So to speak. You could tell. And even the non-rich Jacardans and the poor non-Jacardans, you can also tell. Like, I just feel like with Nadim, the reason why everyone's or Ibam or whoever, right now, it's like, look, these are the quote-unquote good guys. Again, by good, it's a very broad spectrum. It's hitting us because you're like, listen, I know this guy. Like, a lot of people know these guys. A lot of people know these guys. Are like,
Okay.
listen, like, really? Like, they might be asshole for many other things. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They might be assholes for many other things. But that shouldn't be the indicator
For corruption.
for corruption. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Like being an asshole shouldn't be a legally valid reason for
Right.
you to be accused of corruption. That's a whole nother leap.
That's a whole nother leap. I'm just saying, right? And this goes to both. This is both sides, yeah. I'm talking
Not
both sides.
saying Ibam and Nadim are assholes.
I'm not saying that.
They can be.
Right.
I don't know them personally.
Right. Just it's two different things, and
But I yeah.
it's just so hard to.
Okay. I get what you're trying. I get what you mean. But before we go into Ibam and Nadim, I do want to say one thing, and I do want to hear what your thoughts on this. So actually, a couple of people said that the issue is actually not within the article itself, the 2 and 3 tipikor, but it's in the implementation and interpretation of.
Oh, right,
so
right.
so the article itself is actually fine.
Okay.
It's just that the interpretation and how the prosecutor are using it is very misleading, and there's a lot of misuse of it and things like that.
Right.
I can see how that can be a comfortable and valid argument.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but I would love to hear your opinion, right? But if we're seeing this trend where the prosecutor keeps missing the mark, keeps misusing that article, keeps criminalizing people that are very, very absurd.
Right.
I feel like to a certain extent, we need to admit that maybe the pasal itself needs to be revised.
Right. No,
It's not just implementation. It's a convenient excuse. Right.
I 1000% agree with you. Like, if it's misused once, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. If it's fool me 3 times and then shit something. Like, when you're dating someone and you always say it's not you, it's me.
Right.
If it's me, if you've been saying it's me 10,000 times for all your dating life,
Yeah.
it's fucking you. Like, I'm just saying, like,
So yeah.
like something's wrong with you.
And I mean, like, if it can be misused that many times, I mean, the article itself is not airtight enough to prevent misuse, right?
And no article is going to be 1000% airtight.
Of course,
That's the whole point
course.
of a law and rewriting laws. But it should be as airtight as possible. And if it's you're right, if it's misused completely, then it's
emang karet
emang
artinya.
karet, udah, it's just...
It's like, and I mean, like, MK themselves admit that. They say, please revise.
Please revise it.
And here's what I don't get, right off. For a lot of law and regulation or demands that are being ignored by DPR, by the government, I understand why they're ignoring it.
Right.
Because
This should be actually their incentive.
this is gonna bite them in the ass.
You're like, this is one of the most things where forget all the other ones. This is the one that, I think we should meet about this.
Like,
I think we should have a meeting about this one.
Ini ngerugiin semua orang.
Iya.
Even them.
Yes.
Like,
Especially them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially them, to be honest. If I was DPR right now, they should be my priority list.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like a lot of them think right now, you know
it's
what,
not gonna
I'm
be me.
safe
Yeah, I'm
because
safe, yeah.
I have good connection, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but like what about 10, 20 years from now when the power shift and lu udah nggak punya power? Bisa aja.
When the wheels turn.
Iya.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what I don't get though.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't understand.
You're going against your incentive. You're going against you.
Exactly. Like you mentioned earlier, MBG, IKN.
Yeah. This might bite you guys all in the ass, by the way. Not might, it will. I mean, if I have to be a predictor.
And I also really like former deputy chairperson KPK Amin Sunaryadi said Indonesia has always put too much emphasis on state financial loss and not enough on bribery and gratification, which is why our efforts to fight corruption always fail. So it's not me who said it. So apparently I do agree. Like I prefer our anti-corruption practice to focus on like bribery, extortion, gratification, where people actually like the mens rea is obvious,
right.
And you know, like cases like Firly Bahuri.
Yeah.
Bro, like what's up with that? Or do you remember the senior Mahkamah Agung official yang they found like 920 billion cash
in his house?
Itu
like, that there you go. Like in his house, by the way.
Sampai sekarang belum ada verdict.
How do you keep that much money? I don't know how you keep so much money in your house.
Jelas gitu.
Iya, itu udah jelas banget. And that's not potential losses. That's loss.
Ya, udah jelas.
Udah jelas kayak
pembuktiannya nggak apa yang lu bilang tadi prosecutor komplain susah nih.
Iya.
Ini nggak susah.
Ini udah. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So and okay, now we're gonna talk about Ibam and Nadim, right?
Right.
So this is from me. Disclaimer. The reason why I don't lump Nadim's case with the others is because it's a bit more complicated than that. There are still a lot of things that are worth being suspicious of, I think. But I do think that a lot of the pembuktian is very shaky about Nadim. And so I cannot say with 100% certainty that Nadim is 100% innocent on all front. Itu gak bisa gue.
Okay.
Nah tapi it is precisely that. The inconsistencies Dov. Gitu. Kayak in Nadim's case, there are a lot of ada yang udah ngaku kan terima actual bribes. 3 orang. And mereka tuh yang the one yang actually dealing very closely with procurement and the vendors. Jadiin witness. Udah ngaku loh. Alasannya mereka katanya udah balikin.
Iya. Especially also in Ibam's case, right?
Yeah, Ibam and Nadim kan it's the same case.
Yeah.
Now, Ibam is a bit different in my opinion from Nadim. Okay. The reason is because I feel like Nadim as a minister, it makes sense that, for example, anak buahnya ada yang terima suap, habis itu jadi bilang, lu kan menterinya, so you need to be responsible dong for knowing like what's happening, yang under your authority. Gitu.
Right.
Ibam is just a consultant in a yayasan yang non-governmental. Jadi artinya dia tuh nggak dibayar. He was not paid with state budget, state money. He has no authority for decision.
Right.
So he was just literally a consultant that's like, yeah, you know what? I think blah blah blah. He has no say in all of this decision. He doesn't receive any money, and yet he got convicted now.
Right. And the difference between Nadim and Ibam on a very formal level is basically kalau Ibam kan udah putusan ya.
Yeah.
Kalau Nadim masih tuntutan.
So he was
masih ada proses.
Yeah.
Masih ada proses.
Not yet a verdict.
Yeah, not yet a verdict. Kalau Ibam kan udah verdict, which I also think is very very wrong. Here's my point to the inconsistencies. You're right, it's very inconsistent. Here's my counter to you, Abigail.
Okay.
I completely understand where Abigail's coming from.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, because I really follow Nadim's case close up. Before I say anything, there's a principle in law. The burden of proof is in the person who is asking or demanding the truth. Okay? So basically, kalau lu nuntut A, the burden of proof is on you. Right. So far, forget who Nadim is as a person. Dari fakta-fakta persidangan, the proof and the burden has all been really, really, really bad and not there. Sehingga tim kuasa hukum Nadim can say with full confidence, na mereka selalu ngomong ini, dakwaan-dakwaan tidak terbukti.
Yeah.
Let's Steelman the defense attorney's argument. Let's steel man it. So let's make them strong.
Okay.
Let's just say in this world that Nadiem is wrong.
Okay.
It's still the kejaksaan's burden
To prove.
it. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And as long as the proof is not there,
You cannot convict him.
You cannot convict.
Agree.
You can tuntut,
Yeah.
but the verdict should not. If I was Hakim, I'll be like, I see where you're coming from, kejaksaan, and you know what? He might be fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But as long as you can prove it, I'm sorry. That is one of the oldest rules of law,
Yeah. I agree.
right? Okay.
I agree.
So, menurut fakta-fakta persidangan that I see so far, semua dakwaan dan tuntutan tidak terbukti. But again, ini tanggal 18 Mei, I made a video asking for everyone untuk nonton replik Nadiem tanggal 2 Juni. So you can see. Replik itu apa? Replik is terdakwa's hak untuk reply all the tuntutan-tuntutan dari kejaksaan.
Basically
His rebuttal lah.
His rebuttal.
To see. And you're gonna see apa aja fakta-fakta persidangan. You're gonna see. Right? And I'm talking from both sides here. Whether you disagree or you like
and not just that, right?
Nadiem.
To follow the case until verdict.
Until the verdict.
Yeah.
Follow it. Right? What he did or did not do as Menteri, whether you didn't like Curriculum Merdeka, whether you dislike it, has nothing to do
It has
with
nothing
the
to
case.
do with it. Yeah.
So whether you pro or contra on that, doesn't. Whether you love Gojek or you dislike Gojek, it has nothing to do.
Look, Dov, like I disagree with a lot of his policy.
Right.
I can't say that Nadiem was a great minister.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's corrupt.
Right.
It's a different topic. Like for this specific procurement conflict of interest corruption case, it's completely different.
Right.
It's completely different.
And on my side, you got to do it the other side too. I think he was a great minister.
Okay.
But I can't let that cloud my judgment, or just because he was a good person and he made Gojek, dia pasti innocent.
No.
You can't do both sides here.
Nobody's doing that
So you can't do
argument.
both. So I really urge everyone to 2 Juni, you kita nonton nobar. If you're not doing anything on Tuesday, 2nd of June, please nonton replik dia secara live. So you see him and his tim kuasa hukum membeberkan fakta-fakta persidangan. Right? So I agree with everybody. Let's look at the fakta persidangan. And so far, according to my opinion, which can be completely wrong as well, I see him tidak bersalah. From me.
Okay.
But again, everyone watch by yourself, read by yourself, do your own research.
Yes.
We that's number one thing with we do your own research.
No. Again, like me and Andovi here, we were not talking as experts. Obviously,
Well,
we're just commenting as citizens of Indonesia watching a public legal dispute, right? And criminal court hearing that uses state budget, which come from our tax money, and I want to know that it's actually being used properly.
Right.
And in my opinion, so let me tell why I said there are legitimate reason for mencurigakan apa ya? For investigating for this case to be looked at. But I feel like, again, like I agree with you. Just because something is suspicious and is worth looking at, you need valid proof that directly criminalize the person for you to be able to sentence.
Right.
And for me, so the reason why I said there are legitimate reason for prosecutor to look into it, Andovi, is because the specification, like, okay, you need to use Chromebook, was set by the ministerial regulation Nadiem signed.
Okay.
Right? Jadi padahal before that, technically, the technical team recommended Windows.
Right.
But then it was override and then recommended by Chromebook. Nah, tapi kan this is not a unilateral decision by Nadiem juga bisa dibilang. There are other process. But again, like I understand why people can question like, tadi kan rekomendasinya Windows, kenapa tiba-tiba di override sama ministerial regulation for Chromebook, gitu kan? And then jadi mulailah itu, ini mungkin dia ada untuk conflict of interest with Google, so that Google can invest more on his PT and blah 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 blah. But again, like for you to be able to actually sentence him with that, you need actual proof. You cannot just be like, kayaknya bisa nih, nggak bisa gitu doang kan.
And for this Google thing, they actually did menghadirkan semua saksi-saksi Google.
Tapi nggak mau didengar.
Didengar satu persidangan, and Google has repeatedly, the 3 members of ex-Google have said, enggak, like enggak. Like,
As simple as that.
whether you believe these Google people or not, it doesn't matter. In court, they said enggak. So ya udah, kayak you can't be like, well, I don't believe you. you just can't.
Now, another thing that I don't like is how they calculated the state loss.
Oh my God.
Right?
The quick maths.
Yeah, the math again. So BPKP said so what they did to calculate state loss is okay. Nadiem and kementeriannya they use up this amount of money to purchase the Chromebook, and then they recalculate it now, and they say no, actually it should be this amount of money, and so the gap is said to be the state financial loss, right? But how they calculated the fair price is by averaging data from 11 producers and 5 distributors basically. So they average data on like untuk bikin Chromebook assemble itu berapa, and then they add like around 15% margin at each distribution level. Yeah. And then after that they get their final price, right? And they said, ya udah ini harusnya segini gitu. It doesn't work that way though. Maksudnya kayak you cannot determine, oh, actually what's fair is 15% net profit margin.
Exactly.
You can't do that. For you to determine fair price is to look at the market price at that time, right? So for example, if I want to do procurement for a Chromebook, I look at the market price, misalnya, okay, market price-nya kira-kira misalnya 5 juta sampai 7 juta, which is actually the market price at that time.
Right.
I bought it at, for example, 5.5 or 6 million.
Yeah.
Masih wajar dong?
Ya, masih wajar. You're in the range.
Yang gak wajar kalau tiba-tiba gue bayar
10 million.
Yeah. Padahal market price was 5-7 million. Yeah. Nah, Nadiem bought it at market price.
At market price.
Basically, at that time. Nah ini jadi kayak, this is such a weird way.
So you can't calculate your state financial losses like that. You cannot.
Because that way, imagine the repercussion of. For example, in the future, right? Anybody can do
anything. Can buy anything in market price, and you're like,
yeah, any instansi, minister, apa saja. For example, they did a procurement for apalah sendok garpu gitu.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, dikalkulate, oh actually seharusnya harganya segini because harusnya cuman profitnya segini.
Right.
State loss kan nggak bisa gitu dong.
It's like you're being revisionist. Kan there's a term revisionist history. You're being revisionist economists, right? You're being like, oh, that price wasn't supposed to be. It's like what?
And this is like the heart of like no private company would ever want to work with the government ever again.
No.
Because like the government can always just recalculate back and say, actually, you are charging way too much profit and you are causing state financial loss. Because who determine what's fair and what's not fair? It's the auditor. And they're not, mereka nggak ngerujuk ke market price. That's what I don't like about Nadiem's case.
Anyway, back to Ibang walaupun ada putusan dia masih bisa banding ya. Ibang, you can still banding to the higher courts. I hope you get through that because it's a shame what they did to you. For Nadiem's case, I personally think, I'm not going to say you use the word innocent because innocent is very broad. He has not done what the tuntutan has claimed he has done. See you see there's a difference. Innocence is innocence, so he's not, dia tidak terbukti atas tuntutan-tuntutannya. But again, masih tuntutan. I applaud everybody. I implore everybody to please watch his pledoi, his nota pembelaan tanggal 2 Juni. Please do so people who don't know the case can see for like that 1 hour, 1.5 hours what's happening.
Yeah, and in my opinion, like again, I'm not saying Nadiem is innocent on all front. I feel like again masih banyak yang tanda tanya, but definitely very questionable untuk dikategoriin tipikor pertama. And then second, definitely gak cocok untuk dituntut 18 years and then 1 billion rupiah fine and 5.6 trillion in restitution.
And if you can't pay, you add another 9.
No, like can we pause for a second and just think about how much money that is?
That's a lot of money. That's like 1 day of MBG. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. 3
And-
days?
And Malaka,
whatever the math is.
Malaka did a really good post
Yeah.
comparing like the tuntutan, right? Let me pull it up.
Wow. So he's only under Ali Imran,
Which is
Bom
Bali.
Bali, yeah. Wow.
So Ali Imran, the one who accused of literally setting bomb in Bali, causing 202 people to die.
Yeah.
He was convicted of 20 years in prison. Nadim was 18. And if he can't pay the trillion of restitution, 22 or something, right?
Right.
So does he... Come on, like the scale is not making sense.
Yeah.
And then Johnny G played korupsi BTS, right?
But
Only 15 years.
Again, I hate to be that guy.
Juliari Batubara,
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't talk.
korupsi bansos COVID, 11 years.
The number is just way too big, but it is well within the Kajaksaan's right to do that number. And it is well within the Kajaksaan. I disagree with the number. I absolutely disagree with the number, but it is well within that right. It is also well within Nadim's and his pengacara, tim pengacara untuk melawan. But the key is putusan hakim yang sekarang nih. Right? You can also be the hakim right now and be like, dude, 18 years is too much. Right? You can be the hakim and be like, what? Right? So please, like, this is a great test for everybody in Indonesia to follow this case. Personally, can I just go personal here?
Yeah,
Nothing to do with the case. Nothing to do with the case. I just want to say that there was this interview that Nadim's mom, Ibu Atika, on a podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. Sorry. Ibu Atika, by the way, is the winner of the Bung Hatta Anti-Corruption Award. And not only the winner, I think she made it or something. I forgot the details. I'm sorry, Ibu Atika. She was asked in a podcast, do you regret your son coming back here with all this? And she said no. And then she said, one of the proudest moments in her life was seeing Nadim in court also saying that he does not regret any of this. It's the same shit Tom Lembong said.
Yep.
Now Nadim is saying it and his mom is saying it. So where am I going with this?
Okay.
Respectfully to Nadim's mom and Nadim, screw you both. Why? Because you guys are better people than me.
Oh, I totally agree.
You guys are way... It's just a respectfully screw, yeah? Screw you guys personally with respect. Because if I was in your position...
Oh my gosh.
I would be like, do you regret? Bitch, I regret everything. If I was there, I'd be like, I regret I should be on my way to Singapore, to the US, to England, to whatever. Like, how can you say that? How can Nadim and Nadim's mom and Tom and all these people say they don't regret it? Like, my God, you guys are way better people than I am.
Right, and
honestly.
even Tom said, jangan pernah berhenti mencintai Indonesia.
And I was like, offline, I was like, Tom, I hate you for saying that. I hate Tom for saying that.
Yeah, because like if he says that,
who are we to complain?
Exactly. Kita
that's
jadi
why I
kayak,
hate you guys.
Kita jadi mau komplain gak enak gitu ya, Dov ya.
Kita mau komplain kayak, aduh, kita nggak usah komplain lagi.
They're
gaslighting us into not complaining. Kayak, with them saying it's like, lu jangan komplain anjing. Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm just saying you guys are way better people.
No, yeah, if I were them, I would risk it all.
Oh my God. If someone asked me in a podcast, do you regret? I tattooed the word regret right here.
Sini dong. Regret. No regret.
No regrets? I'll
yes,
be like,
regrets.
Yes, regrets. I would just regret all my body. Like, the fact that they can do it, Nadim's mom, Nadim, Tom, all these people.
I also watched Ibam's interview with Ferry and Kania, and he said like, they did ask like the same thing, right?
Do you regret?
Yeah, along the same line. And I think he said something like, you need to be able to differentiate between Indonesia and its government. And once you can differentiate that, I think you can answer that question well. How does these cases make you feel?
Real talk.
And what have you been seeing with like your circle of friends? Like,
real talk.
Yeah, real talk.
Abigail, real talk, no
real
bullshit.
Talk.
Real talk, real rap, raw, real shit. I am one of the most nationalistic Indonesian people there are. Even though I
agree.
Speak, you know.
I agree.
And I'm not saying this.
I can die on his hill. I can die on this hill. Andovi is one of the most nationalistic person ever, and every time he speaks out about Indonesia, and it really comes from the heart. Yeah.
I was very anti, even though I didn't say publicly, the Kabur Aja Dulu movement. I was very anti personally, but I understood why people want to kabur, so I just shut up about it. But personally, I was very like, fuck you guys, don't kabur. now, my God, I've had personal conversations with my inner circle and the people that I love and say, hey, Malaysia is looking good. And for me just to have that conversation doesn't mean I want to go to Malaysia.
Right.
Because Indonesia is truly Asia, not Malaysia. Doesn't mean I want to go to Malaysia, but I'm just saying the fact that a person like me is starting to have the conversation, it's scary. Guys, that is scary. Like I literally went to people like in my inner circle and I'm like, hey, get a job in Malaysia. So if anything happens, I can go to you.
Oh, you're encouraging them now.
Yeah. So I'm not going through me because I still want to be here, but to everybody else, like, hey, why don't you? so that and I'm doing it very selfishly because if I get in trouble, I can go to your. So it's a very selfish thing, but like that's how fucked up it is, guys. If for someone like me who's super nationalistic to even have a conversation, my God, we are fucked.
And I think, Dofia, I think the reason why this feels especially insidious and why it really got to me up to a point that I couldn't even sleep for a couple of nights. And it's been a while, honestly, for me to write in WIUI.
Yeah, it is.
And the reason why I actually wrote again is that, like, why does Indonesia keep criminalizing people who didn't steal any money? That post, and it did. I think it went viral. Like the traction was immense. Meaning like a lot of people.
It hit a lot of people.
Meaning that a lot of people are concerned about this, and I think it's because the trend that we're seeing, it's hitting people that are competent, that actually has contributed to Indonesia and actually has the potential to improve our nation. It's the potential. Like I can't bear seeing for a lot of the cases, it is those who are the ones that are being prosecuted are professionals, right? Who arguably are good at what they does, have good track record, is competent, and the ones that a lot of people are putting their hopes in, and those are the people who are being thrown under the bus.
Right.
And I think that really got to me because like it does send a really chilling message that competency and merit and common sense, even sometimes, like it's not just being ignored, it's being actively punished. And I understand there are a lot of nuances in the case and not all of them are the same. I totally understand. But the trend is that, and I feel like it's very concerning. It's hitting, and it's not just an elite issue, right, Dov? It's hitting from minister, CEO, director, venture capitalist, investor, regular citizen who's buying land, a video editor, vendor. Like it's hitting everyone. And it just makes me so sad that for me, like I receive so many DMs from my followers and from my inner circle friends who are like, I know so many kids, young people who are privileged, who probably follows WIUI, who really, really have a dream to contribute to Indonesia. And I was that too, honestly, But now they're like, wow, I feel like maybe it's no longer worth it. Yeah. Like they actually have their dream crushed because they dream about studying abroad, bringing contribution back to Indonesia and contributing in any way that they can because they genuinely care. But now the risk is not just bad pay. It's not just bureaucracy. It's not just underappreciation. It's
criminalization.
Prison.
Yeah, it's prison. Holy shit, yeah.
And, I caught myself thinking, right, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't do this project, or maybe I need to be more cautious in what I do in my business, in media, because I don't want to go to prison. And it struck me like that is not a normal thought.
That's not a normal thought. How can you positively think if that's subconsciously always in your brain? You can't do anything. Oh, gue mau bikin sesuatu yang keren. Am I going to prison? Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it's supposed to be like, oh, maybe maybe my competitor will have better pricing, or maybe I need to innovate more so that I can disrupt the system, or maybe like how can I create more profit? It should be that, right?
Now it's like
gue nggak mau ke penjara. What?
It's crazy.
It's not normal. It's normal. And like day to day, I know like your energy is.
It's drained.
Drained
I know I'm very energetic, but it's drained.
No, I can see that. Like, and normally, right? People like you are supposed to just focus on being creative, creating content, and making just being creative, creating your musical. And day to day, you maybe just care about your friend's drama or your love life.
Yeah, my stand-up comedy.
Your stand-up comedy.
Watch Mad for Laughs. This plug.
Yeah, but now almost
it's just
50, 60%, 70% of your energy are drained from thinking about things you have no control over. Because the state keeps throwing at us like ludicrous and crazy cases. How does that not inhibit creativity, innovation? Even if you're not a BUMN director, even if you're not a minister, even if you're not in the direct line of fire, if that thought is in your mind, right? Oh, gue gak mau ke penjara nih. Atau kayak, aduh negara nih gimana sih? Kenapa begini sih? Itu tuh kan menghambat inovasi. Like it ruins your day.
It does.
And I'm just sad for the next generation who actually dreams of wanting to contribute and who can actually contribute well to Indonesia, and now they're reconsidering, and rightfully so, in my opinion. And I think the reason why I really wanted to talk about this, and why I really wanted to like blow this up and show how cases like Nadiem Ibam, Tom Lembong, Ira Puspita Dewi, like it's not an anomaly, it's a trend. And so, as hard as this is for me, Adofia, I want those who are watching, who are probably considering whether they want to contribute to Indonesia. But I'm not saying they shouldn't. I just want them to know the risk.
Right. Yeah, it's a very high risk profile now. You're right. I mean, know your risk, guys. I mean,
and it's really sad.
It's really sad because Indonesia has the best weather and the best food. It's really sad.
And you know what's crazy?
It's really sad. We have an amazing country, guys.
It's
really sad, guys. Like best food, best landscape, mountains, beaches, everything God given to this country.
Best jokes.
Best everything. Like the Indonesian netizen is one of the funniest netizens.
Best TikTok sound.
Yeah, best everything. Like
very catchy. Everything that comes from Indonesia.
We are just so funny. We are good people. Like the jokes that we see internet. Like,
oh my gosh, top tier.
Top tier. Like we go band to band with Americans and Europeans and all these people. But now we're gonna worry about this shit.
And
like Obama said in 2008, yes, we can. Just semangat. Or if you're like stressed out, do a little bit of yoga. Right? I mean, kalau bisa outside your house with many people. Right? Just yoga. Just yoga. And then when people ask you, kok yoga? Yo nggak tahu, kok tanya saya.
Oh my God.
Right? I love that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Andovi, right? How do you cope? Real talk.
I play One Piece card game to cope. I mean, this is real talk. Like I get lost in it. To be honest, I get lost in it.
No, yeah.
I play One Piece, the card game.
Our debate was really cool.
Oh, debate! Oh, guys, that debate's been crazy. When's
crazy.
part 2 coming out? Malacca Books.
Supposed to be this week. This week.
Oh, the second part is gonna be crazier because then we're playing the game.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we should play the game in WIUI.
We should. But we need more people later. Yeah, when we'll invite more people, and then we'll.
And one thing is, I focus on what I can focus and what I do: stand-up comedy, musicals, projects, like this. That's the best I can do. So I just focus on what I can do and what I love, which is entertaining people. That's my thing. That's how I cope. And One Piece TCG and basketball. That's basically what I do.
That's true.
How do you cope?
Yeah, I cope with reading manga. So honestly, but I feel like this is real though.
This is real.
I mean, like when things are tough, people run to art, right?
Yeah, people run to art. Yes.
And that's why I think artists are very important actually nowadays. And I mean, it's not Dov, can we just be real? Like, it's not just about the criminalization. It's not just about rupiah melemah. It's not just about like our domestic craziness. Like geopolitically, the world, everything is
on fire.
Is on fire. It's not doing well. And so I do urge everyone here to be kinder to yourself and just the number one priority right now is to survive.
Right.
And
right. Just survive.
Learn.
Hang out with your friends and family.
Right.
Hang out with your friends and don't get the fuck out of internet. Just get it out. Just get out.
You need a break. You don't have to update yourself 24/7 every second of the day.
Like just
it's not
have
healthy.
one day per week, Sunday, Saturday, whatever you're free, just to hang out with your friends and family offline.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Have you done that?
I have. Like last Sunday, all I do is focus on my stand up.
Right.
I don't touch my phone.
How was that?
It felt great, but then I was so focused on the stand-up, so it was but it was another stress. It was a lovely stress.
Okay,
it was like a lovely
different stress.
Oh, let me think about the jokes.
Because at least that stress it's within your control.
Yeah, it's within my control. Whether or not Trump bombs another country is not my control. Whether or not someone does yoga is not my control.
Yeah.
And listen, I love. Look,
oh my gosh, I just understand why you said yoga. I just understand.
Listen, there will always be
my
a
God.
Joko reference as long as I'm alive in this podcast. Because I love him with his memes. Because he's just so memeable, you know? 4,5 tahun di fitnah saya diam. Dihujat, direndahkan saya juga diam. Tapi kali ini di What Is Up Indonesia Podcast saya sampaikan, saya akan lawan! I just love him.
Damn.
I love the memes.
No, but it really did came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Huh? That photo.
Yeah.
I thought it was AI.
Yeah.
No, at first I genuinely thought it was AI. I was like, wait, this is real? And he was so zen.
And he's yogaing.
Dia cuman duduk gitu aja.
I know. Like he was feeling it.
No, like the one that really gets me is like the people right next to him.
Yeah.
How can you guys be so chill?
Like if I was yoga, I was like,
gue nggak bisa sih.
How can you
Gue nggak
chill?
bisa sih.
How can you chill? My God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Let us know what other cases or topics you want us to discuss. And I guess we'll see you next time. Bye, Weeboos.
Bye, Weeboos. Take care.